Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to this online session. So today we have two important, great teachers right from Arizona State University. We have Jessica and Emilia, Jessica Cinco and Emilia Gracia. I hope I am spelling your names correctly. Okay, Jessica and Emilia, you can guys start by introducing yourself to the Moroccan audience, a little bit about your teaching background, and then we can start, talking about or discussing the questions that we have received from our audience. Okay, Jessica and Emilia, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Aziz, and thank you so much for this invitation. Emilia and I are so honored to be here today. I have been teaching English as a second language for over 17 years. I've taught all around the world. I started my teaching career in South Korea for 6 years. And then I've been mostly teaching in the States, but I do a lot of teacher training around the world. I've done teacher training in China. I've done teacher training in the Middle East last year, and I really miss traveling right now. I've also worked with a team to create the Teach English Now 150-hour TESOL certificate course at Arizona State University, of which Aziz has taken and graduated from a few years ago. He's one of our superstars. And my current interests in language education are online course development, like Teach English Now, as well as the social and emotional needs for both teachers and students to promote more teaching. I feel like all of us need to address our own needs so that we could be the best people to show up in the classrooms. So I'll send it over to Emilia.
Okay, thank you so much, Jessica. As you know, my name is Emilia Gracia, and I have been in this field for over a decade. I have 2 master's degrees, one in teaching Spanish as a foreign language and one in teaching English to speakers of other languages. I have been at ASU for 7 years as an instructor of English as a second language in the intensive English program and many other programs that we offer. I'm currently a PhD student in linguistics and applied linguistics at the university as well. And my interests include digital learning and second language acquisition online. So as Jessica has also been very involved, I have also been involved in the creation, the design, and the production of various online courses. I designed the course that comes after the Teach English Now, which is the Teach English Now Teaching Language Online. And I also designed the series of Chinese language for Spanish speakers. So I'm very happy to be here today to talk to everybody about what ASU has to offer. And we are so happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Good. Yes. How many languages you guys speak? I think you speak Spanish fluently, right?
Yes, Spanish is actually my first language, but I've been bilingual pretty much my whole life in English and Spanish, and I could say I know I have a low, intermediate, high basic level of other languages. But I only say that I know English and Spanish because those are the language that I actually read, write, and speak fluently. So.
Okay. Jessica, what about you?
For me, I'm not quite as fluent in a second language as Emilia, but I would say I majored in German in my undergraduate for one of my undergraduate degrees. So I'm most comfortable speaking German as another language in addition to English. I also speak like beginner, low intermediate Korean, and then just smatterings of a little bit of everything Chinese, just a little bit of Arabic, salam alaikum.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, oh, just a little. Emilia might be better at Arabic than me. I'm not sure. So
yeah. I speak. I have like an intermediate level of a dialect of Arabic. I cannot say that I speak modern standard. So
Really?
yes.
Okay. So generally speaking, what you guys can you say about Arizona State University in terms of the international programs that the university offers? I know that there are online and on-campus courses. But what do you think? What courses are suitable for language teachers and students also?
do you want me to start with this, Emilia, and then you can fill in the gaps that with other information? Okay, so I'll start. Emilia will take over. So our department is Global Launch, and I'll start with the first program that we mentioned before, the Teach English Now program, which Aziz has taken. This is an online program that is offered on the Coursera website. It's a 150-hour TESOL certificate, and it's very practically based. I think I'll let Emilia talk about the TESOL Masters in just a moment, but these two are a little bit different. The TESOL certificate, Teach English Now, is just very practical. Teachers learn different techniques, and then they actually build their own lesson plans and create teaching videos using different ideas. We also offer the same course in a similar format directly through ASU. The certificate, I believe, is the same, is similar, but it's a 120-hour course. And you pay a little bit more for this one, but you get direct interaction with teachers from our department. The course on Coursera, there's no interaction with the teacher. It's a massive open online course set up to run independently without a teacher. This 120-hour course is very similar. It doesn't have a final capstone, so you don't have to put together a final portfolio, and you get more feedback and interaction with an ASU teacher along the way. So for teachers wanting to strengthen their English language skills, we also include, at this moment, we have quite a variety of English language courses that are set up to run and to work on listening, speaking, reading, writing skills. We call them Learn English Now, and you can take them through ASU. So that's what our department is currently offering at this moment, I believe. And then I'm going to turn it over to Emilia to talk more about master's programs and other things to do online.
Perfect. Thank you, Jessica.
You started with my favorite one. You started with my favorite one. I have more questions about the teen course. Okay, go ahead, Emilia.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So what Jessica was describing just now are certificate programs. And before I describe the master's programs, I would like to point out that yes, there is a very big difference between a certificate program and a master's degree program. The first big difference is the price. What it costs to get a master's degree at an American university versus what it costs to get a certificate are two very, very different price levels. So this is also going to be one very big determining factor for students and teachers looking for further professional development. Also, the requirements to get into either program are also very different. The requirements, as you can see, to get into our Teach English Now course or our Teach English Now, course that's not on Coursera, the requirements are not very strict, shall I say. Just about anybody with English they feel comfortable enough with can take the courses. Those courses, that's why they're so accessible and so many people all over the world have taken them. Coursera offers a very accessible price, as you know. $50, what is it? $50 per month, Jess? Yeah. So, I mean, who can beat that, right? Looking at those, so The master's programs are quite different in what you need to do to get into the program, and also the cost of the program. For details about the cost of the program, I recommend going to ASU's website and looking at graduate tuition costs. Next, I will describe what one has to do in order to get into the Masters in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages program. So ASU offers the Masters in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages program online and in person. So you can choose to do online, or you can choose to do the program in person. It is the same exact program, same exact classes, and a person, once they graduate, they get the same exact diploma from ASU. So the good news about that is, if maybe you work in a country that does not like online schooling, the diploma doesn't say that you got your degree online. So a person gets the same degree. I do think that the online program has some extra fees and cost attached to it because of the convenience. Both programs can be finished within 3 semesters. Plus 1 course in the summer. So that's a very attractive part of the program. It's less than 2 years. I will also point out that what ASU offers is a master's in TESOL, not a Master of Arts in TESOL. So there is a difference between MTESOL versus MATESOL. Many places, many universities or institutions don't care about this difference, but many do. So it is very important that somebody knows what kind of job they want to get and where they want to work before they commit to this program. ASU also offers a master's that is very popular in our field. That is almost the same as a master's in TESOL, and that is the Master's in Linguistics and Applied Linguistics. And that program can only be done in person. A question?
Not online.
Not online. No. No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, can unfortunately. I add just a little something?
Sure.
Aziz and everybody else listening, on Friday, Emilia and I were talking about our own master's courses in TESOL and the Teach English Now course. And both of us agreed that we learned so much more after getting our master's degree when we created the Teach English Now TESOL certificate course. That course is so much more practical, and it's simple, it's easy to understand, and teachers will be able to teach and improve their teaching much quicker. I wish my master's program would have included such practical ideas like we found in Teach English Now. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why our Teach English Now courses have won so many awards, and part of that is the popularity among the students. And the courses are very entertaining, but they also take the most important concepts that a person could learn in their master's in TESOL and puts it all consolidated into one program that somebody can access and learn very easily. So Jessica and I and the rest of the team, we really do believe that these courses are great, they're effective, and they really help people, teachers, get the skills that they need in order to effectively teach English as a second language courses. So if the goal of the learner, if the goal of the student or the teacher is to learn how to teach English or improve their English teaching skills, it's the perfect course. However, if a person is trying to get a job at a university that requires that person to have a master's degree and they don't have one, the TESOL certificate does not replace a master's degree. So I just want to make that very clear. But we do have the master's in TESOL degree online. ASU does offer that, and like I said, the price is much different, and the requirements to get in are a bit more. Generally, a person needs 3 letters of recommendation. A person needs to get a certain score on the TOEFL or the IELTS. and a person, but they do not need to get a GRE score, which is good. That makes the program a little more accessible, but yes, you do need to have a what I would call a pretty good score on the IELTS or the TOEFL to get into the program. So those are just some differences. I would say price and barrier to entry are probably the main reasons why our certificate program is just more popular, right? We can reach more people. So
Okay, so the just two tests, the TOEFL and the IELTS test. The third
yeah.
one is not.
You need a
the
bachelor's degree, of course, to get into a master's program. You need a bachelor's degree, and if you graduated from an international university, you have to get the bachelor's degree evaluated. Our international student services here at ASU does that for free for applicants, so that's a very nice gesture, and they will determine if that person's bachelor's degree was enough to get them in. And then you would also have to do, and the person would have to take TOEFL or IELTS to prove that their English is sufficient enough to get into the program. They need 3 letters of recommendation, and they need to write a 1-page statement as to why they want to be in the program, and they have to send their transcripts. And then these are pretty typical processes for international admissions. And later on, Jessica and I can send you the link to the international admissions graduate page. Now, if a person does not have a high enough score on the TOEFL or the IELTS, they can take Global Launch's very own graduate admissions courses at a very convenient cost. And if the person gets, what is it, just a B or a better?
I believe so. If they score 80% or higher, they will get a TOEFL or IELTS waiver from ASU.
Yes. So there is a way to get in if you absolutely, cannot get that high score that you need on the TOEFL or the IELTS for the program. We do offer 8-week courses, and depending on how you do, you can keep taking it again and again until you get the score you need, but you do have to pay each time. The exact price, I would have to verify that for you, but I know that it is not. Maybe Jess can look it up right now.
I just did. Yeah, cool. It's $475, and I'm going to send Aziz the link to our website with this. Here's the link, and in this course, you will walk through this course with one of our ASU professors, and not only will it help you improve your English, but it will also help prepare you for graduate courses. You'll be writing, you'll be guided in writing different parts of a research paper, giving research presentations. The course will guide you through all of this. So not only will your English improve, but it will also be a very useful preparation for what to expect at an ASU graduate course. And we think it's pretty awesome. So yeah, I just sent Aziz the course, and hopefully he can, or the link to all of our online courses that we offer through Canvas, not Coursera. This one is for, yeah.
So Emilia, you mentioned something a little bit interesting concerning you said that some countries don't take into consideration the online certification. But I think online learning takes so much time and effort. It's the opposite of the actual learning.
Yes.
It takes so much effort. For example, my experience in the teen course, I was really doing a lot of, Jessica, you know that we went through a lot, preparing, taking videos, presenting, practicing. I think online learning is not easy. It's not just but some people take it, don't take this into consideration.
Yes, you are right, Aziz. I think that, well, I really hope that with the current circumstances, people around the world are opening up to accepting online learning, because I know that, previously, yes, there are many places in the world that don't like it, they won't accept it, but I hope and I believe that is changing because it really is such a great gift. And so many people who would not normally have access to education or professional development or educational resources now have access. So that's what really we're all about at ASU, is impact, access, and excellence. So we really strive to have the biggest impact possible on a global level. We want to do it with the most excellence, and we want everybody to have access. And so it just goes along with what we are all about. One of the other reasons why they call us one of the most innovative universities in the United States. We've been #1, what is it, for the past 4 years? Yay!
You are #1
5
anyway.
years.
Yes.
You are my favorite university.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aziz.
I am
And
a
what
huge
part
fan
of-
of you.
Oh, we're a huge fan of yours too. You do great things, Aziz.
Thank you so much.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so basically you are saying that there is no difference between actual learning and online learning, apart from the fees probably? So they are the same.
Well, I wouldn't say
This is the
they're
question
exactly
by
the
one.
same. I think that we meet the same goals.
But-
So I think at the
Yes,
end,
objectives.
what was that?
Yes, the
I
same
think-
objectives or goals, yes.
Oh, same objectives. Yes, that's correct. We strive for the same objectives. And yes, you know, it does depend on someone's learning style. Each individual learner is different. Some people feel the need to be face-to-face with other people in order to learn something. Some people do not have that need, and there are actually quite a few students perform much better when they can do things in their own time, at their own pace, and access information at their own convenience. So it really does just depend on personal preferences. However, I really do think that the attitude, if somebody has a negative attitude towards online learning, it's probably because they had a bad experience with it, because it wasn't done well, or they just haven't experienced it yet. I think a lot of, of those negative feelings come from people assuming that they can't do something when they don't know if they can or not. So I did ASU's Masters in TESOL program online. And I would say that I learned the same exact information as I would have had I gone in person. So it's the same degree, but my first master's, I did it in person, and that was a very different experience. So again, but going back to Jessica's point about our Teach English Now courses, if a person really, really wants to learn the tricks of the trade, as we call it, the Teach English Now series is fabulous for that. So even if somebody does get a master's in TESOL, we recommend that they still do our certificate program anyway, because it is excellent teacher training.
Yes, I will go back to the 10 in a shortly. So because it's exciting, it's my favorite one. Okay, so can we talk a little bit? There is a question or comment maybe from our audience. So are there any kind of scholarship maybe for international language teachers and students? Yes.
So this is always a question we get when we're recruiting and whatnot. Unfortunately, to my knowledge, maybe Jessica could add here too, ASU doesn't particularly have any scholarships for international students, or even for domestic students. Usually graduate school is not something that scholarships are offered for. However, what we do have, if a person wants to come here and study, they can get a graduate teaching assistantship. So international students do have access to that. And some of our graduate programs do offer the opportunity to teach a low-level class or participate as a research assistant, depending on the program that they're in. I don't believe that our master's in TESOL offers that, right, Jess? But our master's in applied linguistics does. And so does our, PhD program in applied linguistics. A person can actually come here, get their tuition paid for if they teach for 20 hours a week. Or it's part-time teaching while they would be in the program full-time. So those are opportunities that we offer. But other than that, we don't have any scholarships available. Usually when international students come, they come with scholarships from their own countries. So a lot of times the Ministry of Education from their home country will sponsor them, or maybe a company they were working for will sponsor them. And that's usually, or they pay just from their own money out of pocket.
Yes, yes. Talking about ministries of education, we received a question about that. Do you guys have a kind of collaboration? The Arizona State University, maybe, are you guys having a collaboration with other institutions, maybe other universities, international universities or countries, or maybe exchange programs in which, for example, you train teachers or for a particular purpose, maybe?
At global launch, so first of all, I've just got to say that ASU is very, very big.
Yes.
And Jessica and I are really very limited to global launch. And I know a little bit about the English department because I've done a program in it. I'm in an English department program, but we do not at the moment have any exchange programs. That would be through a different department at ASU. I would look at the International Student Services or the study abroad people, and Jessica might be able to provide their names, but we currently do not have any programs like that. Normally what happens in our department is we will write a proposal for something, and yes, we have collaborated with different ministries of education or Department of State. We have on various projects, but normally they put out a call for what they want. We write a proposal, we get a contract, and that's how that works. We don't actually invent these programs until somebody reaches out to us and we make a contract with them. ASU in general has collaborated with so many different universities across the world. Jessica and I couldn't even give you a list of how many. So there is a lot of collaboration. There are a lot of contracts, there are a lot of deals, but at global launch specifically, we do not have any student or teacher exchange programs.
But we could, as Emilia was saying, we could create something. Like if Aziz or if the Moroccan ministry wanted to come to us, and maybe someday post-COVID, people wanted to come to Global Launch at Arizona State University for teacher training, we would totally organize that if we had, as Emilia said, like a signed contract or something like that. We could tailor, I mean, our department has tailored teacher trainings for people either to come here or for teachers to go to your country and teach. Yes, I believe both Emilia and I have been sent by our department in Global Launch to different countries throughout the world to do different projects, teaching and such. So yeah.
Good. That's a nice idea. That's an interesting idea. Those exchange programs, really helps teachers grow personally and professionally. Yes, so. Okay. Can you guys talk a little bit about, we received a question about, I know that you have a huge online library. Can you guys talk about this this library? What kind of sources or resources it offers for its students? Because I was doing a course on edX. The course was offered by Arizona State University, and it was about writing, composition. Sure. I didn't remember the name of the professor, but it was a very great course. I have actually a web page, a Facebook page, in which we have some of the participants. And Jessica, maybe you are a member of the group. You with the shade, maybe on
Are
Facebook.
we?
Yes, it's about writing composition.
Oh, writing composition.
Yes,
Let me
maybe
see.
I was introduced to the big, huge Arizona State Library.
Really?
Yes,
I actually don't know too much about it. Emilia, do you know much about this?
I don't know anything about that composition course. No. One of the reasons for that is that, again, our university is so big. Yeah, we have some courses through edX. We also, our Thunderbird School of Business Management, which now belongs to ASU, has a micro master's on edX, which is very cool. I don't know if anybody listening is interested in that, but it is actually a pathway into master's in global management. But of course, it's just the preliminary courses of that. And then if you actually want to do the rest of the master's program, you would have to enroll and get accepted into Thunderbird School of Global Management, which is part of ASU now. So yes, we do have other departments at ASU have courses all over Coursera and edX. So our library database system, most universities in the United States have a very large library database system, which includes some of the biggest library search engines like EBSCOhost. We actually have this feature called OneSearch, where you could basically just put in the name of any book or article, and you could almost find anything you're looking for. And it's really, really wonderful. I think it's something that a lot of domestic students take for granted because this is not readily available in universities all over the world. So I think that it is a really wonderful feature. You can get just about any book in electronic format. If it's not an ebook, then the library usually scans it. So it's very easy to get access. And if our library doesn't have it, we also have an interlibrary borrowing system, so we can borrow from other universities' libraries within the United States. So we have access to as much access as we can possibly have.
Yes, you guys are a huge university. The reason I mentioned this course because I learned a lot from this course. It was really amazing.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful. Yeah. And that was on edX, Aziz?
Yes, it was on edX. It takes me like 6 or 7 months to complete it. Okay. It was very hectic.
It sounds intense.
Yes, it's about writing. So wonderful. So guys, can you walk us through the question? Can you walk us through the process of getting enrolled in a master degree? For example, what's the first step, the second step, third step? I'm talking about on campus, not, or maybe you can talk about both on campus and online.
Okay, so the enrollment process for both is the same. If you come to our campus, they will tell you to go enroll online, meaning you have to go through all of the processes electronically. So ASU tries to be as paper-free as possible. So almost all of our processes are done digitally. So the first thing a person would need to do in order to enroll in any graduate program in ASU is go to our MyASU website and go to the graduate school, because you have to be admitted into the general graduate studies before you get admitted into a specific program. So the first thing that you'll do is that you'll go there and they will give you the name of an advisor to contact. This person will call or email you. And if you're international student services can provide a translator if a person needs that. And also our international student services provides degree evaluation from foreign degrees, and they assist in the process. So if you are an international student, which I'm assuming the audience today is, thanks, Jess, you're gonna have to look at international graduate student admissions. International graduate student admissions. And that is the first department you have to talk to about the requirements for you to get in. And they will give you a list of what you need to do. So on that list, the very first thing is they want your transcripts from the university you got your bachelor's degree in, because you cannot get a master's obviously without a bachelor's. So you need to have a bachelor's degree, and that needs to get evaluated. Once that is evaluated, then you need to have a score on the TOEFL or the IELTS for English. If you don't have that, you can enroll in our graduate admissions courses. Yay! For international students.
The TOEFL scares people.
It does scare people. So we have innovated a really good workaround for that. And we also recognize that TOEFL doesn't even prove that a person really knows English that well. We find that a lot of people can communicate very well, but maybe they don't do well on the TOEFL because of the very, very difficult grammar and reading assignments and the very little time they give you to answer questions. And we do realize that the TOEFL is not the overall indicator. So what we've provided is this course as an option. So if a person gets 80% or better, it's a very difficult writing course, but it's a course, it's not a test. And so in that course, there is a lot of, we teach students about writing and research and all of the things that they are expected to know about before they go into graduate school. It actually is a really great preparation for any graduate program. So that's a really good way to enter. And plus, the price that you pay for that course is equal to taking the TOEFL exam a couple of times. So I would say that it's money better spent, but you do have to get your international transcript sent in. And you do all of this first with working with an advisor. So you have contact with that one person and you submit these documents, and it takes time. They take time to evaluate your transcripts. And then once it is approved, they look at your English. They say, okay, you need to give us TOEFL, IELTS, or you need a B in the Global Launch Graduate Admissions course. If you have that, great. And then you need to decide which program you want to go into. So in your case, in the case of everyone listening, you will need to see what the requirements are for the master's in TESOL. So the master's in TESOL asks for 3 letters of recommendation, 1 page, statement of purpose, and maybe your CV, your curriculum vitae. So those are generally fairly easy documents to obtain. The biggest barrier to entry are the transcripts, getting them approved and evaluated. But ASU offers that service for free, which is great, because if you have to go, if you go and you pay for that somewhere else, it can be a couple $100s. So it is really great that we offer that service, whether you're admitted or not, no problem. And yeah, just getting that English placement score. The good thing about the master's and TESOL program and our in-person TESOL program and our applied linguistics program is that it does not require a GRE score. So GRE is the graduate entrance exam that many graduate programs ask for. But we don't have that for these programs. So that is one thing that someone maybe doesn't have to worry about so much. So that's nice. Other programs and other universities do ask for this exam, and this exam is very hard, the GRE. I know I've taken it. It's a very, very hard exam. There's a lot of math, a lot of English. That's all it is, and it's very difficult. It's also expensive. So ASU has eliminated that exam as a barrier to entry for many programs, not all, but many, and the TESOL program is one of those programs that does not require it.
Yes, I think you are right when you say that exams don't always reflect learning, right, or reflect the knowledge that we have. I always see TOEFL as a competition against time, especially in the reading section. You watch the clock and you try to answer quickly.
Yes. Yes.
So you guys think there is a difference between those three tests, the TOEFL and the IELTS and the global exam, the global R exam? Which one is the most difficult?
I would say that the GRE exam is the most
Oh,
difficult.
yes.
Yes, because it's not just English, it's also math.
Oh, yes.
And it's
I
difficult
took
in
the
English.
Yeah, I took the GRE without studying, which is not, I don't suggest that. And I scored higher on the math than I scored on the English, and I'm terrible at math. So it was really embarrassing. So yeah, the GRE, I don't feel like it's an effective assessment of knowledge. It's a more effective assessment of strategy. And yes, I think that's my opinion. So, yeah.
Okay, so Emilia, basically what you are saying is that in order to get enrolled in the master program, we should first get enrolled in the page, the My SU page, okay?
Yes, you need to contact International Graduate Admissions.
Yes.
And this is so after you contact them, they will guide you what to do. You tell them what program you're interested in, and then they tell you, okay, these are the things you need.
Yes. So it takes some time for
it
all
does.
this.
It
Okay,
does.
good.
Yeah.
So there is a comment on the Facebook Live. Would you like me to read it?
Yes, please.
So yeah, I am Yasin said that I am interested in doing PhD in the field of applied linguistics. Would you please explain the requirements and eligibility criteria for the relevant field?
Yes.
PhD.
So yeah, this is actually almost the same as the master's and TESOL requirement. The very first thing you have to do is go to, if you're international graduate admissions. And you tell them that you are interested in the PhD in applied linguistics program. And then they will tell you what documents you need. So in this case, because it's a PhD program, you need a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in a related field. However, the restrictions are not many because the PhD in linguistics and applied linguistics accepts people from various backgrounds. And yes, the English language requirement is also in place, just as it is for the MTESOL. I do believe that you can get in with the graduate course, with Global Launches graduate admissions course, if needed, but don't take my word for that. Also, what's great is that this program, it has a lot of international students. So it's not, I mean, I know it sounds intimidating to like do a PhD program in English in an English speaking country, but actually most of the students tend to be international students and speakers of other languages. So with that program, because it's a PhD program, a person can apply for a graduate teaching assistantship. So if that person has some relevant teaching experience, they can get in. And when they get the graduate teaching assistantship, that means that the program or ASU will pay for their entire tuition. And on top of that, they get paid not a lot of money, a little bit of money for teaching a couple of English courses, usually English 101 or English 102. Those are first year freshman courses. So the program has a duration of 4 to 5 years, and it is only done in person.
Wow.
Thanks, Jess. Jess just posted the link. Yeah. But it does not require the GRE
There is no
exam.
online version for the PhD program.
No.
I do want to hop in for a moment and say that ASU has a really incredible EDD program, which is a doctorate of education, which is more finely tuned for each specific teacher's interests. And that is online. And a number like our boss has that degree. She just finished her EDD, and a number of teachers in our department, we're English language teachers, a lot of teachers are choosing to go that route, and that is online, and it starts in the fall as well as in the spring, so you can choose what time you start. And that is a 3-year doctoral program that you can do online. I'm actually considering starting that. It's just a lot of work to prepare for, but that's another option if you want to do something online. It is a doctorate, it's not a PhD, but it's much more practically based. And as a practical teacher, I prefer to do my research. Your dissertation is actually a project that you create within your current working environment. So everybody in your program is working at the same time that you're taking this doctoral degree. So that's another option. Oh, and Emilia posted that online in our chat as well. So just another option. That's a very highly regarded program, and a lot of people in our field, in our department, are doing that. So yeah.
I'm just curious. Are there any types of doctoral programs related to English teaching, English instruction, or maybe applied linguistics?
The only ones that we have are the ones I've already mentioned. So the PhD in linguistics and applied linguistics is the only linguistics degree we have. However, if a person wants to study English literature, we do have a PhD program only in person, not online, in composition and rhetoric, and that is from the English department. They have similar requirements, but again, it is only in person. However, a person international student can apply, and they can get a graduate student assistantship, meaning that their program is paid for if they teach at the university a couple classes for very little money.
Great, interesting point. Okay, so we received a question about the Arizona Teaching Academy. Are you aware of this Arizona Teaching Academy, or maybe it's another department?
I'm not familiar with that. Do you or anyone else on Facebook have any more information about that? If we can answer it to help us answer.
We've never heard of that. I would say
okay,
if we haven't heard of it,
it's
probably not. I don't know.
It's in another department.
Or it could be something through the University of Arizona. So it's so easy to get our two universities mixed up. Arizona State is in Phoenix or Tempe, and the University of Arizona is in Tucson, Arizona. So it's a little confusing, and many people get it confused. I got the two universities confused until I started working at ASU. It was clear.
Oh, okay. So I just found, I think, what he's talking about. I'm going to post the link here.
Okay.
So the Department of Education, Aziz, is a completely separate department from us. Okay, so English department is separate from us, education department is separate from us, and so Global Launch is its very own entity. So Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College, that's the name of our education department, does have something called Arizona Teachers Academy at ASU. And it looks like they do have tuition, scholarship, and things. I have posted the link to that if people want to read more about it. Jessica and I are not involved in that, so all we can give you is the link.
Yes, okay, thank you. So Jessica, let us talk a little bit about the Teach English Now course. I know that it's very popular right now. A lot of learners from around the world, have enrolled in this course, and it is actually what shall I say? It has changed my personal and professional life. I learned a lot from you guys. I am a better teacher because of this course. And I hope all the English teachers will get a chance to get enrolled in this amazing course. So maybe my question or my comment is, do you guys think of maybe turn it into a master degree, maybe, or something, or maybe make it a little bit long and include more, maybe more resources. I don't know.
Okay, so let me repeat this back to you to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying. So it sounds like you would really appreciate a master's degree using the Teach English Now content. And are you asking if
Yes.
we're planning on doing anything like that right now?
Yes.
Okay, we're not planning on doing anything like that right now. However, Aziz, I love this idea. And if we could get permission from our department, we would love to design our own Teach English Now master's course, like master's certificate. And you know what, actually, after our webinar today, I will follow up with my boss to see, if there's any, at least to start a conversation. And you never know, something might happen.
Yes, it will be a great idea if you do this, guys, because it's such an amazing course.
Thank you so much. I just wrote that down so I don't forget.
We have received the comments from one of the audience. How did you guys cope with the COVID-19?
I'll go first and then Emilia. So it's really interesting. Emilia and I have totally opposite situations. So I live alone. And back in March, probably, I'm guessing around the time COVID was hitting Morocco as well, in mid-March, Arizona State just closed. Like, we were all sent home, all students, all teachers were sent home to do our work from home, which is where both Emilia and I are right now in our homes. And, it's reminded me just how uncertain our lives are. I think we all fall into this comfortable pattern that our lives are safe and secure. And it was just a reminder that our lives are so uncertain. And that can be really unsettling. And so, yeah, I think it's taken a lot of self-compassion and just realizing that most of our lives have been turned upside down and things are not normal, and mistakes happen more easily, and that it's so important to be compassionate, not just with ourselves, but with like our students, our colleagues. And it's strange, it's unusual, and I don't know about you guys, but we've just passed the 6-month mark and I'm kind of tired. It's exhausting. And so I think just continuing to try and speak nicely to myself and not push myself too hard so that I can continue with my same effectiveness and energy. So it's been a shift, but I'm grateful for a lot of the things that I've learned during this time. So, and I hope everybody that is listening to this has been as safe as possible and as healthy as possible, and just, yeah, from one country to another, we're wishing you all the love and support and health during these hard times. Yeah, Emilia?
I will talk a little bit about how Global Launch, our department, responded to the pandemic. So as Jessica said, in March, we were all sent home to work. Luckily, a lot of us were already working on digital products, which we can do from our computer, which means we can do from home. So Jessica and myself were fortunate enough to just be able to do the work we had already been doing just from home, which is great. We actually saw an increase in demand for digital products, and we actually put our intensive English program that this has never been done by any university before. put an intensive English program, immersion program online. So all of our staff worked really hard this summer to make that happen. And our department was actually able to keep all of us employed. Nobody lost their job. Many universities cannot say the same thing. Other universities, including universities in our own state, were not as prepared as ASU was to handle the pandemic. I think that ASU has handled it beautifully, and we have innovated ways to make it work. And so we are really committed to making our situation work and to the continuing online learning of our students and other stakeholders. With that being said, of course, a lot of us were not, used to working from home. Occasionally, Jessica and I would do work from home, but we're generally, English teachers or foreign language teachers tend to be more social type of people, where our offices are open, meaning we just have open desk space. And so we all see each other all the time. We talk to each other. And so I think not having that interaction among colleagues has been very challenging for a lot of us, especially those of our colleagues who live alone. In my case, I don't live alone. I share a home with various people, big family. So for me, it has been more of a question of, oh no, where's my quiet office space? I have no quiet time to do my work. And so that has been challenging for those of us who do not live alone. At the same time, people who live alone were facing other challenges that people with big families do not face. And so everybody is challenged. Everybody is challenged in different ways. And yes, we have all had to work hard at finding a good way to manage our time, to balance our activities, and stay focused on our work. But I think at the end of the day, we're all very grateful for the opportunities that ASU has given us. And we're immensely grateful for our online learners, because without them, we wouldn't be us. So that's all I can say about that.
Yes, great. So there is a Facebook comment from our audience. So is there any possibility to run a master degree in teaching English corporately between to Arizona and other university from another country?
Aziz, can you repeat that question, please, or comment?
The comment says that, is there any possibility to run a master degree in teaching English between Arizona and another university?
Ah, so like a university in Morocco, maybe?
Yes, kind of collaboration.
Oh, okay. At this moment, I'm not aware of anything like that. However, I want to say with Arizona State, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. So if whomever has asked this question, I invite you to please follow up with us or with Aziz. And, we can bring ideas to our bosses. If there's a university in Morocco that's interested in collaborating with us, we'd love to hear about it. So yeah, just let us know and we can direct you to the right people. So
yes, but a master degree in 10 is something we should really see it in the future.
Yeah. Yes, I'm a lot of interest for a master's degree in TESOL from like the Teach English Now team in our department. And I love hearing, that's awesome. I'd love to do that.
You are, Emilia, would you like to say something?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay. You are a famous or a popular destination for international students. Most of the people I know have finished their studies, in Arizona State University. Most of my colleagues or the people I know online or Facebook, what's the secret?
That's a really great question. I would say I would go back to our mission, which is excellence, impact, and access. The fact that we have a way for people to get in. We're about who we include, not who we exclude. So we're a very, in other words, an inclusive university. We have massive recruiting efforts. Jessica's been to China, right, Jess, to recruit students. I've recruited students in Mexico. You know, we're all over the place. So marketing has a lot to do with it. We market our brand very well, but we also provide access. We provide ways in. As you will recall, a few moments ago, I was explaining all of the different ways a person could get into our university. And the fact that we have ways around the TOEFL exam. I actually believe we are the only university in the US that provides a TOEFL waiver for students, undergraduates who want to study at our university and not take the TOEFL. So that was one of the things that actually made our international English, English language learning program, one of the biggest in the country. That's how it gained popularity, because students says, oh my goodness, I would rather do this program, really learn English really well and not take the TOEFL and be admitted into ASU without the TOEFL. So, and then again, just last year, we came out with these graduate and undergraduate admissions courses that if a person cannot come to our university to do our intensive English program, they can take these courses online and get they can get conditionally admitted into the university. So I think that our admissions barriers to entry really have helped us a lot get as many international students as possible, because again, we're all about who we include, not who we exclude, which is a really beautiful thing. So I would say that's probably the number one. I don't know if it's a secret, but that's probably our I would say the number one culprit to why we have so many international students. I know that we are number one public university preferred by international students, which is great. And we are among the top 100 most prestigious universities in the world. So I think that these numbers alone make us attractive to students. Tempe, our Tempe campus, it's just a really fun place for people to live. There's a lot going on. There's a lot for the kids to do, and they get to meet other students from all over the world. We also offer an infinite number of programs. So there are so many options. And so the more you offer, the more people you can offer to, right? So I would say it's probably a recipe of all of those things. I don't know if Jess wanted to add anything.
Sure, I'll just chip in. Going back to what Emilia was saying about ASU finds value in who we include instead of who we exclude. And a lot of the bigger name universities are very exclusive. They only allow a certain number of people in with certain test scores and certain this and that. Very, very exclusive. And that has its strength for certain purposes, but our president, Dr. Crow, kind of believes in education for everyone, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from. And one of Arizona State's biggest values, I think, is our international community. I believe it makes Tempe just so much richer. Like you walk off campus and there's just, like Emilia was saying, like within walking distance of the ASU campus is a mosque. And right next to the mosque is an Arabic restaurant, which our students rave about, although I think it's more like Saudi food. But there's just so much diversity. There's so much value placed on our international community. And for Emilia and I, that just, it just warms my heart, because even in times like right now when we can't travel, we still know that Tempe has its own special international community. And so we really welcome diversity. We welcome people from all over the world. And it's a safe place to be. And we hope anyone who comes here will feel at home, or we hope anyone who takes any of our programs will always feel welcome.
And I think you forgot something, guys.
What did we forget?
What did we forget?
The secrets. I know the secrets.
What?
maybe the secret is you guys have wonderful educators like you, Jessica, like Emilia, like Dr. Shane, because
Yes.
you are kind-hearted and you help students. I think the humanistic side is important in teaching. Apart from the pedagogy, apart from the instructional resources, I think it plays a huge role in getting people, learn and continue in the learning journey.
Thank you, Aziz. Thank you.
So there is a comment on Facebook. Okay, I have 7 years of teaching experience at territory level and also a global launch certificate in Arizona State University exchange program. Would I still be considered for teaching assistantship if I want to do PhD?
I would say just based on that, would that qualify you for a graduate teaching assistantship for the PhD in linguistics and applied linguistics? Absolutely. Yeah. It would just be a matter of, you would have to send in your transcripts. You have to go through the whole entire application process. You have to wait. The acceptance does take a long time. You have to have to start, let's say if you want to start in August of 2021, you have to turn in your application finalized by January 1st of 2021. So it's a lot. So if you want to start next year, you have to start speaking to an international admissions advisor to get all of your paperwork together. So just so you know, these things do take time to get into, but yes, you would definitely be a good candidate for a graduate assistant teachingship, especially if you have experience and you already, have a master's degree. So for a PhD program.
Yeah, and it sounds like if you're also, Aziz, did you say he's a tertiary or a university student, professor, teacher?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I think that would make him a great candidate. Emilia, I wanted to ask you, do you know, are there a certain number of assistantship spots available every year? Like, are there 10 or?
Yeah, there are, but I don't know if I don't think they share that publicly.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't imagine what they could be. I know, like in my group that started, I think only 2 of the people, in that started at the same time I did are actually teaching. So, with that, but again, I obviously already have my job at Global Launch, so I didn't try to get a teaching assistantship because why would I, right? But and I know there are a couple other people that are in there because their governments back in their countries gave them scholarships to go. So yeah, we have someone from Indonesia, we have someone from Nepal, and they're not, and either of them are teaching. It's just their ministries of education scholarship to them. So but yes, I would definitely say somebody who has teaching experience, especially at the tertiary level, would be a great candidate for graduate teaching assistantship. Yeah.
Yes. So responding to what you have just said, is there a certification for teachers who would like, for example, to teach in Arizona? Certified, for example, teacher.
Yes, every state in the United States has a separate certification program, and that is done through the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College at ASU. They have a program a state program that certifies teachers. We at Global Launch, we have nothing to do with that because we only deal with university students, whereas the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College prepares K through 12, kindergarten through 12th grade. That means kindergarten all the way through high school teachers. That's a completely separate training, completely separate skill set. And as a matter of fact, I would say most of the people in our department have never even taught K through 12, not really interested. It's here it's something that's very separated because the skill set that a person needs to teach is actually quite different. So
every state has its own requirements.
Yes, that's correct.
Don't you have to take a test? Emilia, do you know this? I think you have to take a test and pass the test. Yeah.
Yes. There's like a board exam, and then you get a license, and then you have to renew your license, I think every 3 years, 5 years. So it is
You don't
different.
have to be American, right?
No, I don't think that that's
No,
a
I don't think so.
requirement. No.
Yeah.
Nice. This is inclusive. This is inclusiveness.
Very inclusive. Yes, very.
Good. So I want to go back to the 10 online conference. Do you Jessica and Emilia, have any ideas maybe about the future online 10 conference? The previous one was great. We had a very interesting number of speakers from around the world. I was very excited to participate in this online conference. I learned, I remember that I participated with Edmodo, teaching with Edmodo on the summer model. And the summer was actually a model I learned from the course. And I am trying to, I am using it like in my classroom practices, especially when I use or I integrate technology into my classroom.
Great. Yeah, I remember your presentation on Edmodo, Aziz. It was really great. You had a lot of wonderful feedback too from the other people. So your question about an upcoming Teach English Now conference. So we don't have a specific date yet, but we are hoping to hold one in like early 2021, probably like maybe February or March. We don't have any of the specifics yet. We're still working on times and days, but I think it would be very timely since everybody's been, or a lot of the world has been working online. I think an online conference would provide a really nice way for everyone to share their experiences teaching online for the last year, and to check in with each other and just, yeah, so we're thinking about it. It's coming soon, and we will definitely be sending notifications. And Aziz, I can send you send you specific information. Yes.
Don't forget me.
Don't worry, I won't. You're one of our superstars. I can't forget you. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. It was really interesting answers. So can you guys take more comments from Facebook, maybe?
Sure. Yeah, maybe about 15 more minutes, I think. Would that work for you, Emilia?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. Okay. I have been to the global launch program. Is that an asset? It is a question from Yasmin.
So can you say that again?
He said that I have been to the global launch program. Is that an asset?
Okay, so so I wonder, I wonder if he took classes with us at Global Launch or if he took some of our online courses?
Yes, maybe he took some. Maybe
online?
He took some online courses.
Okay, that's great. Oh yeah, I think it's always an asset to yes. I feel like Arizona State's name carries significant weight around the world. At least I hope it does, but I would say that's definitely an asset, yes.
What's your favorite learning management system? What that you use, for example, in the university?
Emilia, do you want to go first?
So I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, we use Canvas. Our LMS is Canvas. Canvas does great things, but we also are not in love with Canvas. I would say that, of course, just as any LMS does, it has its own complications. But if you want a recommendation for a free LMS that I think offers quite a bit for free and is really good looking and attractive, I would recommend Blackboard course sites.
Blackboard.
Course sites, yes. Blackboard course sites is very nice, very attractive, and you can do so much with it for free. So anybody who is interested in developing their own online courses and who does not have a contract with a university, I highly recommend Blackboard course sites.
Can we use it to teach
Yes.
our students?
Yes.
Okay.
It even has its own virtual meeting rooms. So you don't even have to use Zoom. In addition to that, you can actually just give classes within your platform, and you can embed videos. You cannot upload videos, but you can embed them. So if you want to put videos on YouTube, you can embed them in right on the course page. You can have, I know they have a limited number of courses that you can host. I think it's about like 12 courses, which is a lot. The courses are not public, which is great. If you do Canvas, your courses will be public. So that is the thing that nobody likes about the free Canvas. Also, the Blackboard course sites is really easy to use. So I personally, I highly recommend it. I did some development on there this summer and I really liked it. So.
Okay, great.
I don't have too much to add to that. I don't have, I think Emilia's answer is great. I'm pretty much familiar with Canvas. And like Emilia said, Canvas has served the purposes that I've pretty much needed. It's got some drawbacks. I don't have any experience on Blackboard course sites, and it sounds really awesome from what Emilia says. So, yeah.
Do you have any tips or maybe advices for novice teachers, novice English teachers who would like to get into this job?
How about I start and then Emilia, you can, okay, piggyback off of what I say. That's a big question. I feel like I could go in so many different directions with that answer. Let's see. First thing for novice teachers, the first thing that my mind thought of is don't compare yourself to other teachers, especially other teachers who have quite a bit more experience than you. I feel like comparison, especially comparing a novice teacher with an experienced teacher, is not fair to yourself and will only lead to feelings of not good enough. And it's just not worth it. So I think it's really easy for me to suggest, but it's really hard to do in reality, is just to accept yourself wherever you are and, continually strive to learn, but don't try to be perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. We're humans, and humans were not created to be perfect. So if you can work towards goodness or striving to improve and to learn and to be open to new ideas, I think that's great. My brain is kind of slowing down at this moment. Emilia, do you want to take over for a minute?
That's really great advice, Jess. I think that's really wonderful advice. For novice teachers, I would, adding to what Jessica said, I would take every opportunity you can to go to a workshop, to go to a seminar, to watch a webinar online about, teaching skills. One of the great things about novice teachers is that you're a blank sheet of paper. You're an open canvas and you are ready to learn anything. So take that and learn as much as you can before you get set in your ways. One of the things that I think Jessica and I find when we do teacher training, one of the most difficult things we run into is we find teachers who have been teaching for many, many years. They think they know everything and they can't learn anything new, right? Or they think they can't, or they're not open to it, or maybe they will listen, but they won't actually try out a new methodology. So when you are a novice teacher, you actually have so many more advantages than you think you have. You are more apt to learn how to use new technologies and new methods, and you're more apt to learn trial and error. So I would say take advantage of your circumstance and learn as much as you possibly can. I would also recommend keeping a journal about your teaching. So after you teach a class, sit down, notebook and paper, write what went well and what did not go well, and what you're going to do differently next time. Because in pedagogy, we often learn that one of the most important components of pedagogical teaching and learning, that's metapedagogy, I guess you could call it, is reflection. Reflection is one of the absolute most important things we can do. And so if you can get yourself in the habit of sitting down and writing out the things at the end of your day, what you did well, what you did not do well, how you feel about yourself and what you did, you can change for the better. And I can say, and I'm sure Jessica can attest to this, we didn't become teachers overnight. We became teachers through years of trial and error and trial and error and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, what works, what doesn't work. And so as a novice teacher, the best thing you can do is monitor yourself, right? Because nobody else is there in the classroom, every single class telling you exactly what to do. It's not like other jobs. So you are really independent, but at the same time, you have a bigger responsibility to do a good job. And at the end of the day, your students are the ones who are evaluating you. So evaluate yourself based on how your students are learning, if they're learning, how they're responding to the information you give them, and how they respond to the way that you teach them or the activities that you have them do, because they are your best teachers. So
yes, very interesting.
Can I add one more thing? I think, Emilia, what you just said, I love your idea of journaling and reflecting and figuring out what works and what doesn't work for you. When I was a novice teacher, I had no teacher training and I had just arrived in South Korea. I didn't speak the language, and 2 days after arriving in the country, I had my own classroom of Korean children, and I was not perfect. It was, it was so messy. So allow yourself to be a little bit messy, as well as I think this happens all over the world. This idea of teacher burnout, putting too much pressure on yourself to give to your students, give to the parents, but you never, not never, but oftentimes teachers forget to take care of themselves. And that leads very quickly to burnout. And especially being a new teacher, you might, and I know I'm going back to my original idea, but you may feel the need to prove yourself. And honestly, if a boss is asking you to do way too much more that takes away from your family time, that takes away from your health, ultimately most jobs are not worth it. And just value yourself and value your own energy, because every day we only get a certain amount of energy and we can choose how we spend that energy. And we definitely need to spend some of the energy on our students as if we're teachers, but we also need to save some of that energy for us so that we don't lead ourselves to burnout. And I think all of us teachers can attest, we've been there. It's not fun, and it's so important to take care of yourselves. So, yeah.
Yes, so 4 main points: reflection, not comparing yourself to others, and allow yourself to be messy. Not Messi, the football player, Messi to be.
Yes, one of my favorite teachers is Brene Brown, and she says the magic is in the mess. So if you're in a messy position, see what kind of magic you can find, what kind of goodness, what kind of learning can come from our messy lives, because we all have messy lives. We all have our own issues.
Yeah.
So there's magic there.
Okay. That was really a very interesting session. We had learned a lot from you guys, and hopefully we can meet you maybe in another future webinar. Hopefully.
I would love, I think I speak for Emilia and I, we would love that. Thank you so much, Aziz.
Yeah. Do you have any final tips or maybe ideas or words for Moroccan English teachers or Morocco in general?
I'm
In Arabic,
thinking
it must be in Arabic.
in Arabic. Shukran. That's all my Arabic.
No, no, shukran is not enough.
Oh goodness. Oh, well, unfortunately, I can't say it in Arabic, but just thank you for all that you do for your students, for your country. I imagine you have not had an easy time teaching students in Morocco. And just remember, we're all in this together. It's been rough for all of us, and you're not alone. And just continue to try new things with your students, continue to let them practice speaking English, practice creating language, and just remember to have fun with language, because for me, that's the best part of learning a new language, is being creative and even being ridiculous and silly. Do that, have fun, and just, I wish each of you all the best. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. So what about Emilia?
I second everything Jessica said. So yes, this is wonderful, and I hope that everybody takes advantage of all of the opportunities that are out there right now for online learning, and we hope to see you next time.
Yes, we will hopefully plan another session for you guys. Thank you so much. Gracias in Spanish, right?
De nada, de nada.
My Spanish is terrible.
Oh no, your Spanish is great.
So gracias is correct.
Yes, gracias, gracias. Yeah, I would say de nada, por nada. There's so many ways I could say you're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you so much, Emilia, and see you next time.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Aziz. Take care, be safe and healthy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.